Well, hello around the world. Good morning. This is Elder Felecia Wallace, and I'm coming to you from St. Stephen's Baptist Church, where our senior pastor is Bishop Lanier C. Twyman, who is also the full um, regional, Mid-Atlantic regional bishop. Also, we are better known as SSBC, hashtag we are SSBC. We are here to make it better. And we are here striving and in the spirit of excellence. And so today we have with us Sheriff Melvin C. Hyde from the Prince George County Sheriff's Office. And we are here today talking about civic excellence. Hello, Sheriff Hyde. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Elder. Good to be with you. I hope everything is well with you as well.
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is. So as we know, we're talking about Chief Hyde as a person of excellence in the community. We know that Chief Hyde is over 300 plus deputies and civilians um, in an effort to protect us and keep us safe, the citizens here in Prince George's County. We also know that Sheriff Hyde is the chief of police, not in Prince George's County, but also George's County, but also in Virginia. So, Sheriff Hyde, can you tell us how long you have been a policeman and how long you've been on the force in Prince George's County?
Well, good morning again, and certainly I want to say hello to the bishop and the rest of the church, and certainly, Elder, it's good to be with you. I became a member of the Prince George's County Police as the chief in 2003 and served through 2008. When I left to go do some private consulting work, and then I came back to run for sheriff, and I've been elected as the elected sheriff since 2010, and now serving in my third term.
Okay, all right. And during that time, as the sheriff, Prince George's County, can you tell us a little bit what your organization does?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can now, yes.
In your time as the sheriff of Prince George's County, can you tell a little bit about what your organization does?
Absolutely. Well, we're a little bit different from the police department. We're both in public safety services. In the sheriff's office, our principal responsibility is ensure that our courthouses are safe and secure, and that our judicial complement, our judges, are safe and secure, and our courthouses, because that's a principal place that any citizen can come and have their legal issues addressed uh, in a fair and competent way. And we don't have to settle it in the street. We can do it in the courthouse. So to make sure that's a safe place for people to conduct their legal business, that's a principal responsibility. But we also serve in that we play a major role in domestic violence prevention and awareness here in Prince George's County. And so we respond to citizens' calls for domestic violence issues, uh, and try to make sure that particularly the victims, but the perpetrators as well, have a fair assessment of their situation, so that we can bring calm to a violent situation. So that's another important function we do, is respond to domestic violence calls. We also, on behalf of our citizens and our courts, we serve protective orders and peace orders, just trying to keep orderliness and calmness in our community. And that's a critical function. We also serve in a number of our middle schools in terms of a great relationship we have with our young people and something we call our Positive Day, Deputies Assisting Youth, to help young people get to a better place. We've had tremendous success, I believe, with that particular initiative, and we made a real difference in the lives of young people. And I believe, guarantee that all of the young people that we have touched will have a great future.
Amen. Amen. So we know we are safe when we go to court. We know we have help. You are domestic violence situation. The sheriff's office is here to help you, and also they are there encouraging and pouring into our youth on their positivity day. With that being said, and that part, Sheriff Hyde, what other part do you have within the community or with other organizations?
Well, that's certainly a great question and a great point. You know, we don't really achieve success when we act independent and in isolation. So partnerships are important to the success that we have. And in Prince George's County, we've had great success in terms of reducing crime and violence in a number of our communities. And I believe strongly that is because of the partnership we've been able to build over time between our citizens and various citizen organizations and law enforcement. Uh, I'll give you some names of individual partnerships, but first let me say we don't want anyone to feel excluded, so we operate under the umbrella of countywide partnerships, and so we're in partnership with our entire broad county to make a difference and make Prince George's County a safe place for citizens to live, work, and raise their families. But we work in individual communities also in partnership. So from Neighborhood Watch to homeowners associations, rental associations, with our PTAs, we work with in partnership with all of those in individual communities, because while we say we want to work with the entire county, we do know that individual communities are unique in some regard. So we need to interface and interact and engage the individual organizations in individual communities. And so we find working through homeowners associations and PTAs of a particular community and rental associations and those kind of organizations, coffee clubs, and through Neighborhood Watch, all of those approaches help to make our community better and to make each of us stronger in that partnership.
So if you have a coffee club, women's group, part of the home or renters association, just know that the sheriff's office is here to work with you to make your community better. And so don't be afraid to call them. Don't be afraid to contact his office, because they are all about keeping the community safe and about education. That I mean,
Absolutely.
the more educated we are, the better we can be and come together as one. And as we are one, and I just want to put this in, that nice old Ferris wheel you see down on when it turns purple for domestic violence front, that is the doing of the sheriff's office. I know the sheriff Hyde himself is there when they turn that whatever the wheel when they turn it purple. So when you see that, think of the sheriff's office, because for us, for everyone. That being said, and we're talking about women, how important is it in policing for women to contribute to being a policeman or sheriff, and how important is that in your office?
Well, that's another great question, and it's certainly an important point that we all need to make. And it is my view, and I believe our profession is growing in this view, and that is that women are a critical pillar to our success. Law enforcement can no longer think of diversity and inclusiveness as afterthoughts, because if we do so, we do it at our own peril. And so women are critically important. Uh, and in all of what I do, I must be mindful when we hire people that diversity is a strength, but also when we promote people or make new assignments. I'm very proud of the fact that I've had women serve at the highest levels of responsibility within my various organizations. Currently in the sheriff's office, I promoted two women to the assistant sheriff's position, holding the rank of lieutenant colonel, leading important bureaus as the chief of those bureaus. In addition to the women serving as at the assistant sheriff's level with great authority, we currently have a number of women serving at the ranks of major and a number of women serving at the ranks of captain and lieutenant. So women are in leadership positions throughout our organization and bring great value to our efforts to make our community safe.
Awesome. That is awesome. It is so good to know that we have a place in law enforcement. And one of the reasons why we're here with the blessing is because the founder, um, Sister Campbell, created an organization to also help women in law enforcement, to support them, and to also not just women, but men also, but to be a support and a educational place for them to develop in law enforcement as well. So good to know, everyone, that there is upward mobility in the sheriff's office, and it's a place that if you're thinking about a career, it's a place that you need to be. I didn't ask this question before, but careers in the office. Can you just give us a little understanding? If I wanted to become a policeman or, a sheriff in the sheriff's office, how would I do that?
Well, let me put on my recruiting hat for a moment and say to all of our citizens, but particularly women as well, that this is a good career. We certainly are very diverse in Prince George's County, and certainly in the sheriff's office. And so, women, but men as well, have great opportunity for a great career. And one of the critical things about it is that rarely do we lay off. So right now we're at a moment in our country where a number of jobs have people have had to be laid off and all of that, but that's not the case with us in the sheriff's office or even in the police department. So even at this very moment, we are still hiring people, and we have a great starting salary. People get great training. One of the significant features in our training is that we train around de-escalation, how that we can reduce the need to use force in all of the various situations that we're confronted with. I happen to think women are really great in that. They bring an additional and different lens to look at how we do things. And so if you'll note around the country, as you hear about these various incidents, rarely does it involve a woman. And so we find women bring a super valuable participation in all of the different events that we have, and so they make us better. And so I'm just so proud that we have a number of women. My vision and philosophy is that we will reflect the diversity of our community. And so every person has a good place here. Now, of course, we have to start off with people who have good character. I can't, as the sheriff, when someone calls and says they need help, I can't send them a person of questionable character to try and address their issue. And so we have some basic criteria that people have to meet. But when they meet those basic criteria and they come on, it's a good career. And as I say, we pay people good salary, and it's a good place to work, and they make a real difference in our community. So anybody that has a desire to serve citizens and serve our community, come to the sheriff's office.
Come to the sheriff's office. You have been invited to come to the sheriff's office. If you're looking for a career change during the pandemic, during this time, this would be a good time to look into becoming a sheriff, to be part of the sheriff's community, the sheriff's office. Um, and you can bring your good character and your perspective to things to help the community and to help in their goal escalation, and also keeping the community safe. Now, Sheriff Hyde, we know the blessing of the badges event has passed. Us what having a ceremony or event like that, what does that mean to you, or what is significant?
Well, let me first say I have strong personal faith, and I believe that God will sufficiently strengthen us to meet every challenge and crisis, like those we face right now in terms of world health, police violence, and citizen disconnect, and the severe economic difficulties that confront us. I believe that God has imbued us with the capacity to figure it all out and get to a better time. But policing is a hard and difficult issue, even in the best of times. So we need God's grace to get us through the tough times. In our society, the authority that law enforcement is given to employ public safety initiatives is embodied in the badge. So blessing the badge means we're seeking God's guidance and direction to keep the wearer safe and to help us serve with honor, integrity, and by lawful means and actions, and always to do the right thing in the face of provocation and temptation. So I thank you and the church for your goodwill that the blessing of the badge represents on behalf of all of our members, not only in the sheriff's office, but our police departments and our nation and law enforcement throughout the nation. I know prayer works. Thank you.
Amen. So there you have it. There you have heard it from Sheriff Hyde of the Prince George's County Sheriff's Office. And this is why we have honored him, and we have been so honored to have him talk to us, the community, about what he does. He is a person dedicated, who serves his community, who has an impact and has influence in the and in the schools. So I need you to get your pens out. You still have to write, because we need you to write this down. I need you to make sure that when we post it, that you go watch, and you got to be paying attention. But we need you to watch on our Facebook page, which is St. Stephen Baptist Church. You can new page, which is SBCMD space official, and that's FICIAL. You can also a website, which is ssbcmd.org, and be so happy that you would join us. And so this is why we do what we do. We are here, St. Stephen's Baptist Church, doing our part in the community, different organizations like the Sheriff's Office. And we had the blessing of the badge so that we could pray over all of law enforcement and first responders, also be a covering over them. Invite you to do this. Pray for your law enforcement offices, funders. Be that covering that they need. So we invite other churches to also to partner with us in for our officials. And so with that being said, if you have about the blessing of the badge, you can contact Sister Corrine Campbell, who is the founder of the International Council of Women Law Enforcement, and her email is icwcle@gmail.com, or you can call her at 912 make sure I'm saying 464625, or you can contact the coordinator for the event, Ms. Tasha Arrington, and her email is TASYAARINGTON@yahoo.com. And so again, we thank you, Sheriff Hyde, for sharing with us. And before we sign off, is there any last, as we say, remarks or wisdom that you would like to share with us in your community?
Absolutely. Well, I certainly so appreciate the invitation to speak with you this day, and certainly to the bishop and the rest of the church. Uh, uh, I appreciate you so much, and thank you for caring about public safety and law enforcement in our community. But I would just say to every person that we must maintain our faith and take heart in the concept that God will not forsake us. I believe that our next president will ably lead us during this COVID crisis, and our medical and scientific community is close to a solution. I believe strongly that God enables us to find solutions to everything. In the meantime, practically, we must follow the good advice of those experts, our medical and scientific community, regarding what behavior we must exhibit. So I just remind people isolation and confinement, wear face coverings always, maintain social distance when we have to be with others, no or limited group activity, hand washing often, testing, treatment, and get vaccinated when a vaccine becomes available. And of course, continue to pray. I thank you for your concern and caring, and may God continue to bless you, the church, and all of our community. Thank you so much.
Quite welcome, sir. We are so honored to have you this morning, and do exactly what Sheriff Hyde has said. And with that being said, we are going to sign off. I thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. And we look forward to doing even greater and better things with the Sheriff's Department in the present and in the future. This is Elder Wallace, St. Stephen's Baptist Church, and Sheriff Melvin C. Hyde, Sheriff of Prince George's County Sheriff's Office, signing off. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.